Welcome to the 10th course, and this one is all about the different types of psychotherapies that might be available for you. And while I cannot cover all the different therapies that might appeal to you, work with your style, help you recover, I will cover the different categories and different types of therapies within those categories so that you consider what is best for you at any given point in time. Now, the very first thing, though, you need to recognize is that you are very complex. You are complex being born into this world with your own stardust configuration and with your own DNA from your parents. And then the world around you was very complex as well. It was your world, your special experience of it, and you didn't even know what it was you were experiencing as a child. When your abuse and your trauma occurred in your life, your world even got that much more complex. Who you are and who you will become, and when you're thriving in your life, will be more complex than individuals who haven't experienced abuse and trauma. So therefore, you have to realize that the type of psychotherapies that you opt to invest your time and monies in will vary, and they will need to be up to dealing with complexity. I say this because I don't want you to go do a type of therapy that promises with simplistic interventions that you will have simplistic outcome, because that will likely only make you feel like there's something wrong with you or something wrong with the therapy because things didn't help. I would suggest that all evidence-based therapies are probably beneficial in many situations and might even be beneficial to everyone to some degree or another. But that doesn't mean that one evidence-based psychotherapy is evidently going to be the best one for you just because it has evidence that it worked for some people. So you're going to have to be the most savvy person in your world. But first, again, let's recognize just how very complex you are. So here you are, you entered into the world, and today you have all sorts of feelings. You have all sorts of feelings about who you are, what you've gone through, and how you're going to cope. And the truth is who you are today started so far back, even to the point of when you were no more than just stardust, and suddenly you became a baby. And you became a baby with your own biological DNA, and a type of your own family's programming that you had to take on. And then you had your own epigenetics, and still do, where what you experience, who you are, affects what DNA inside of you is triggered. You came in and you had your own backup team, and they either supported you or they did not in your family and your community. Your world is and was uniquely you. And there's no two way about it. You are as unique as you can possibly be. You are your own unique neurology. You are your own unique brain development. You're your own unique collection of feelings. Your own unique way of talking to yourself. You're your own unique way of handling pain and anxiety, depression and stress, and also what makes you feel at peace, at ease, and comfortable with yourself. You have your own unique compilations of chores, demands, and stressors that require you to pay attention to a world that has nothing to do with abuse and trauma. In addition, though, you have to realize that you have had so many pains caused by other people trying to get you to conform to who they want you to be. Then with all of that said, you become a compilation of all sorts of complications, stress, fears, worries, work demands, bills, payments. What you have to deal with is overwhelming. It would be wonderful if you were in a wonderful relationship, wouldn't it be, that was supportive to you, helping you through the difficulties. And perhaps you are, or perhaps you are not. But regardless of the status of your current relationships, during your abuse and trauma, chances are you confronted the lies and cruelties, the insensitivities, the carelessness that tore into your life and caused you to have to deal with abuse and trauma. And now you face whatever it means for you to actually be able to recover. So as you can tell, I know that you are complex. You are complex in looking at what your physical health needs are, what your psychological concerns are as well. You are complex in being able to understand your particular neurological wiring and how you're going to rewire yourself, what your current styles of thinking and doing and being are, and what ways you need to grow and establish a better way of thinking and doing and being and learning and managing your own life. You are a compilation of your relationships professionally and personally, and whatever you need to do to repair them. You are your spiritual tools and your beliefs and your attitudes towards spirituality as well. You are the education that you experienced and the education that you no doubt need. And you also react to whatever the laws of change are that you understand and have developed the skills to be able to affect. And so all of that is who you are. And so the therapy that you deal with needs to be able to address these at least 8 complex dimensions of who you are. But let me go a little bit deeper in who you are. You have to be able to figure out how in the world to make decisions about what you want in your future life. How are you going to deal with your feelings and emotions, or the signs in your life, or the social standards, or the sensations that comprise who you are? How are you going to deal with your thinking patterns and the way you observe the world around you? How are you going to deal with your past and how other people's past have affected you as well? In addition to that, you have a social life with your family or your community, and you also have internal measures of your own success, your own productivity. You will need to understand how your character qualities are compiled together and how you deal with authority figures or professionals that surround you. You have to deal with finding your meaningfulness and your purposefulness and what spirituality is going to mean in your life in the long run. But I hate to tell you that you're even more complex than that, because this can be overwhelming with details. But consider now the way you treat yourself in your expression of being your best version of you. Because therapy will have everything to do with you being able to respect yourself, develop a reliability and trustworthiness toward yourself as well as toward others. How you're going to work with different action modes and how you're going to get things done. Your therapy is going to need to be able to teach you how to be able to function in different modes of listening and different modes of guiding yourself and making decisions. Your therapy is going to have to deal with compassion and empathy, human knowledge and understanding, your ability to listen and absorb other people's information with discernment, and also be able to listen and absorb information about yourself without feeling judged, but again, being clear. You will need to learn how to be full of humility and teachability, and yet to never put yourself in the exposure of others who would harm you. You're going to understand how to take care of yourself and what spiritual empowerment tools are all about. Your therapist needs to be able to guide you through all of that. The therapeutic relationship needs to be able to be formed so that you can talk freely, be freely, explore complexly, and not feel like you have to conform to a quick and easy version of solving your problems in 5 sessions, but instead work a relationship in a therapeutic situation that also has a lot of skills, a lot of therapeutic tools, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of background to be able to help you with these many dimensions of who you are. Now, there are ways of dealing with different individual psychotherapies, and your relationships may also need some assistance as well, including your relationship with your family. In addition, you might have to deal with your own childhood issues, especially if childhood abuse was common in your life. Now, there are a lot of different types of therapies, and in the next 5 classes, we're going to go through the different types of therapies to consider. And you will either be able to find a therapist that does many of these different types of therapies, or find different teams that do many of these different types of therapeutic interventions. Whatever you do find and create, always remember that you have to be in the driver's seat. You have to be your most dominant influence. You have to be the most powerful influence in your life. So that when you get this team of helpers, and maybe it's one therapist, you want to make sure that that team, whether it's one person or many, are well capable, well equipped, well informed, and well experienced in the process of being able to help you recover. We want you to put your life into the hands of someone equipped to help you with the many dimensions of who you are, as a way of celebrating that you are a complex person.